I think nutrition is an integral part of managing many of the diseases that we see manifesting here in our region. If we don't make food our medicine, medicine will eventually become our food.
We're trying to focus on reading food labels, because reading food labels, it's also another important factor in making sure that we as persons choose healthier food options.
Join us on Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
GBN family, we've got a brand new home on Facebook and you need to be there. Follow us now on Facebook at Grenada Broadcasting Network -GBN. Stay updated with the latest news, sports, entertainment, and everything Grenada. Don't miss out. Like, follow, and share. Grenada Broadcasting Network. Stay informed. Stay ahead. First with the news. Fast with the updates.
On my knees and put Jesus in it. Sinful nature have me feeling so weak, emotionally. Feels like I'm sinking, never to rise no more. Father, yesterday, today, forever. You never change, you never change, you never rearrange. Omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. Without you in my life, what I go do, what I go do, Lord, I go dead if I don't have
26 minutes on to the 7 o'clock hour. This is where we say good morning to you, Grenada, Carrick, Coupé, Martinique. The rest of the Eastern Caribbean, it's Tuesday, the 18th day of March. Welcome one, welcome all to Good Morning Grenada for today. It's indeed a joy, a pleasure, and a privilege to be in your company once again. Of course, Gordon Joseph is the name, and is so happy to be with you. Good morning, Eulin Alexander, Catherine Phillip, Jillian McIntyre, Monica Mayrose Williams. All those of you locked on, good morning, Mildred Smith. It's a good day to have a good day because you're alive. You might not be well, but where there is life, there is hope. Where there is faith, a whole lot of things happen. 25 minutes on to 7. That is the time. Good morning to all the bus drivers and conductors. Be careful on the nation's roads. You've got precious cargo on board. And we've got enough markings on the road, right? Enough paintings. And while at that, this is a call to the traffic department of the RGPF. In traversing around it, I'm seeing quite a number of pedestrian crossings and also the speed bumps, which we usually call the sleeping police. They need to be painted. They need to be highlighted a little more. Vehicles can get damaged, can create accidents because they're not visible. They're not very visible. I know you've got a lot on your plate, but, you know, prioritizing. Good morning, Inspector Leon McQueen and the family. How they do? The neighbor next door, good morning. The nurse friend on top, good morning. How you doing, bro? I can't remember the name. I'm really not good with names anymore. Nonetheless, again, to the members of the RGPF, good morning to you, the entire rank and file from Acting Commissioner Randy Connaught and your entire team. Good morning. It is a good day to have a good day and a good dance. The word of the day today.
Take my soul. Holy Spirit, fill my soul. Holy Spirit, take my soul.
And that word of the day today, that word is haphazard. 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 Some folks say Z. Nonetheless, Haphazard, haphazard. And what it means, it simply means lacking order or direction. Without me saying it, can you formulate a sentence with that word? Well, here's how we can use it. Here's one of the ways we can use it. The arrangement of items on his desk was haphazard. It lacked order. Yeah. Good morning, Marisho Muff. Good morning. The folks inside of Chocolate City Paradise. Good morning, Curlin and Janet and Dion. We usually call him Freckle. Denson, good morning to you. Epen and Banji and Squazim, Andre and Roxy, good morning inside of Seamoon. Dexter, Nenny, good morning. Of course, I've got to say good morning to Mommy Quinn, originally from Seamoon in St. Andrew, but now inside of Frequency. Good morning to you and the Cadet family. My brother Leroy Cadet, good morning. Esther, good morning. You know Blackett. Good morning to the Blackett family as well. Sister Blackett, good morning to you. Nadisha, good morning. It's time for the motivational tip of the day. Let's hear what it says this morning. Morning, Miss G. Holmesy, good morning to you and Abigail and the family. Give back to others. Give back to others. Helping someone else is a great way to reignite your own motivation. Acts of kindness boost your spiritual and your spirit and energy. Helping someone else is a great way to reignite your own motivation. Remembering that acts of kindness boost your spirit and your energy levels. Get involved with some sort of pro bono stuff, some sort of benevolence, you know. You're in a community where there's an elderly person around. There's nothing wrong with even just going and sit and have a chat with them. As Mr. Snag would say, it's so important. Sometimes you don't know how much it means to that individual.
And let the heathen bow their heads in shame. From down in the valley to the
Bernadette Robinson, good morning from Southern Virginia. Wow. Morning, morning. Jennifer Lawrence, Pele Dabo, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Destined to win overcomer. Good morning to you. Zobi, what's up, girl? How you doing? Joan Brathwaite, Batson, Sylvina Childs. Ooh, the entire posse is here this morning. Yeah, I'm not seeing Yolan Swan. Yolan, please touch base. Natalia Ross, good morning. Cicely Blackman. Natalia, I'm not even reading that. Don't go there, as he would say. Please. Lovely, lovely. Erlin, all the way in the U.S., good morning. I hope you're doing fine. Yeah. Let's get my quote from my good friend. It's 20 minutes on to 7 o'clock. You know, he usually sends this. He says, good morning. Another day knocks at our door to continue another page of our life. May this new day bring you some strength to help you hurdle all its challenges. Wisdom to choose the best course in your journey. Joy to enjoy every single moment, and God's protection and blessings to have not only a wonderful but a blessed day. God bless you. Thank you, bro. And it went on to say that Tuesday blessing, love and blessings to all. In God have I put my trust. I will not be afraid what man can do to me. And that quote is from Psalm 56, verse 11. Yeah, that's, you know, these things, these little quotes in them, sometimes it means a lot to some people, but it certainly boosts me, you know, it gives me that extra knowing that he's alive and well. Tasha Bailey, good morning. Howdy do? You and you're dancing, right? Let's see what's buzzing this morning. Buzzing, 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 buzzing. I'm certain that we all heard it. MP for St. George Northwest, Honorable Dr. Keith Claudius Mitchell collapses in front of crowd. And we also hear that petroleum prices to decrease from today. That's a good sign. That's a good news. That's some good news. In the region, Marcus Garvey plaque to be unveiled in Atlanta. Internationally, Rwanda and Belgium expel each other's diplomats over Congo conflict. And in sports, Marley Livera revenge and Fountain secure crucial victories in the Dennis Cornwall St. Patrick's Cricket Council T20 tournament. Reverend Samuel Caesar and the folks out there in East Flatbush, New York. Good morning to all the wonderful folks that are locked onto Crossroads Radio. Joe Bailey and the team, good morning. Joe. Yeah, the Joe in New York. And good morning, Joe, my pops. Good morning to you, Miss Annie, and the entire household. Lovey, good morning to you also. My God is 17 minutes away from 7 o'clock. Laureen Salim. Oh, you do, girl? You all right? Sorry, Huzzy, the other day, looking young. Like you're feeding him on young food. You're giving him young tea. Enough blessings, enough blessings. Michelle Forsyth, all the way in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good morning. Yeah, I hope everybody's fine, man. It's gonna be a relatively busy morning this morning on the conversation, but we'll get through it. We've got a number of guests. Folks, the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather comes up right after this.
We are living in serious times.
Supposed to finish cooking like this? I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future. It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, you know. What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart. Be prepared. Invest in a proper water storage tank today.
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Coming up in the news, Keith Mitchell collapses in front of crowd. Petroleum prices to decrease from today. In the region, Marcus Garvey plaque to be unveiled in Atlanta. Internationally, Rwanda and Belgium expel each other's diplomats over Congo conflict. And in sports, Marley Livera revenge and Fountain secure crucial victories in the Dennis Cornwall St. Patrick's Cricket Council T20 tournament. We've got the details to these and more after these messages.
Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sun Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Good morning. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph. Motorists will notice a decrease in the prices at the pumps from today. Gasoline decreased from $14.72 to $14.50 per gallon. Diesel dropped from $14.84 to $14.29 per gallon. And kerosene moves from $10.87 to $10.57 per gallon. For LPG in Grenada, there is no change in the 20-pound cylinder price, which remains at $40. The 100-pound cylinder, however, will decrease from $233.90 to $220.10, while bulk LPG will drop from $2.40 to $2.30 per pound. In Carriacou and Petite Martinique, the 20-pound cylinder remains at $49, while the 100-pound cylinder drops from $256.90 to $243.10, and bulk LPG also decreases from $2.40 to $2.30 per pound. Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell is urging Grenadians to keep former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell in their prayers after he felt he was blacking out during a public meeting of his new National Party on Monday night. Video circulating on social media showed Mitchell, who is 78, who served as the head of government from 1985 to 2008 and from 2013 to 2022. He was telling the meeting, "Sisters and brothers, I am blacking out," and sighs heavily before tumbling towards the side of the podium as supporters rushed to his aid. NNP supporters rushed to aid former Prime Minister, who told them he was blacking out. The statement from the Office of the Prime Minister said that it is aware of the sudden collapse of Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell, Member of Parliament for St. George North West, at an event at the Happy Hill Secondary School. Prime Minister the Honourable Deacon Mitchell wishes Dr. Keith Mitchell a speedy recovery and extends his best wishes to him and his family. The Prime Minister asked that the nation keeps Dr. Keith Mitchell in their prayers, it added. Opposition leader Emlyn Pierre said the NNP wishes and assures all Grenadians that Mitchell is well. While battling the flu, he remained committed to delivering his budget response to the nation. However, while sharing a heartfelt story of witnessing the passing of a close family member last night, he became emotionally overwhelmed and discontinued his presentation, she said in a statement. Pierre, who has taken over the leadership of the party from Mitchell last year, said he subsequently walked out of the event feeling well. He is in good spirits. We appreciate your concern and well wishes, she added. Members of the Grenada Senate or the Upper House will take the floor of Parliament today to add their contribution to the 2025 EC $1.9 billion budget. The debate is expected to start with Senator Adrian Thomas, the leader of Government Business, presenting the $1.9 billion budget as a motion. Now, during his presentation, he will explain the various government initiatives and as well as the fiscal position of the country. The sitting of the Senate begins at 9 a.m. Dr. Keith Mitchell, Member of Parliament for the St. George Northwest constituency, believes Grenada's parliament is being destroyed. Dr. Mitchell used the People's Parliament at the Happy Hill Secondary School last evening to respond to the 2025 budget presentation after walking away from the budget debate last Tuesday, citing a violation of Section 40 of the Standing Order. Addressing supporters, he gave Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell a new name, Baby Jesus.
Your present Prime Minister seems to believe that he is Baby Jesus, and therefore he doesn't have to account and obey no rules at all. Sisters and brothers, the Parliament of the country must be respected. It must be respected.
Dr. Mitchell accused Prime Minister Mitchell of interfering with the governance of Grenada.
Sisters and brothers, I have never seen that in the Parliament. Starting from Prime Minister Hubert Blaze to now, I have never seen anything like this in the Parliament of the country. And I am saying your present Prime Minister is the main person responsible for desecrating the Parliament of the country and by implication, interfering with the governance of this country.
To loud cheering supporters, Mitchell commended political leader Emlyn Pierre for what he considers an excellent response to what he called the so-called budget. Minister with responsibility for mental health, Delma Thomas, said many Grenadians have mental health issues. However, stigma and discrimination drive people from seeking the assistance they need. She said her government is giving priority to mental health, to ending stigma and discrimination.
She recognizes that many people have mental health challenges in the state of Grenada. However, because of stigma associated with mental health issues, they do not seek help. Well, Mr. Speaker, I could speak firsthand on that, because it's no secret that I've said here maybe 10 years ago that my mother has mental challenges, and so that I had to deal with the issue of stigma and discrimination in public life because of my mother's situation. And that is why I'm committed, Mr. Speaker, to ensuring that as the Ministry of Mental Health, we do what it takes to end stigma and discrimination.
Minister Delma Thomas there. And that concludes the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional and international developments, along with the sports and the weather, they're straight ahead. In the region, a plaque will be unveiled in Atlanta, Georgia on March 25th to honor Jamaica's first national hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. The event will take place at the Big Bethel AME Church, where Garvey made his first appearance and delivered a public lecture on March 25th, 1917, marking the 108th anniversary of the historic address. The unveiling ceremony will form part of the second annual Atlanta Marcus Garvey Lecture, initiated by Garveyism professor and president of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, Stephen Golding, in collaboration with the Atlanta Jamaica Association. Adding to the significance of the event, March 25th is also commemorated by the United Nations as the International Day of Remembrance for the victims of slavery and the transatlantic slave trade. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit said Monday he had requested assistance from the Barbados-based Regional Security System, the RSS, as his administration moves to debate electoral reform legislation in the Parliament on Wednesday. The RSS was created in 1982 to counter threats to the stability of the region in the late 1970s and early 1980s. The signatories agreed to prepare contingency plans and assist one another in request in national emergencies, prevention of smuggling, search and rescue, immigration control, fishery protection, customs and excise control, maritime policing duties, protection of offshore installations, pollution control, national and other disasters, and threats to national security. Looking further afield, Belgium and Rwanda announced the expulsion of each other's diplomats as relations deteriorated over allegations about their respective roles in the conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Kigali said it was severing diplomatic relations and giving Belgian diplomats 48 hours to leave the East African country, accusing Brussels of using lies and manipulation to secure an unjustified hostile opinion of Rwanda. Belgium's Foreign Affairs Minister Maxime Prevost said the move was disproportionate and shows that when we disagree with Rwanda, they prefer not to engage in dialogue. Brussels will reciprocate by declaring Rwandan diplomats persona non grata, he added. African leaders have been trying to establish a lasting ceasefire in Congo, where Rwanda government is accused of supporting an offensive by the M23 rebels in eastern Congo. Donald Trump says he and Vladimir Putin will discuss land, power plants, and dividing up certain assets when they hold Ukraine peace talks on Tuesday. Moscow confirms a call between the U.S. and Russian leaders is being planned, but would not be drawn on what they would discuss. Meanwhile, EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas says Russia doesn't really want peace as talks about Ukraine take place in Brussels. And finally, U.S. President Donald Trump's escalating trade tariffs will hit world growth and raise inflation, the OECD has predicted in its latest forecast. Canada and Mexico are forecast to see the biggest impact as they have had the harshest tariffs imposed on them, but U.S. growth is also expected to be hit. The OECD has more than halved its growth outlook for Canada for this year and next, while it expects Mexico to be pushed into a recession. Trump has imposed 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports. The U.S. has also imposed 25% tariffs on other imports from Mexico and Canada, with some exemptions, and a 20% levy on China's goods. That's the regional and international news. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. Good morning, sporting fans. The Dennis Cornwall St. Patrick's Cricket Council T20 tournament delivered another weekend of thrilling cricket action, with Mali Liver Revenge and Fountain securing crucial victories in their respective matches. In another intense battle, Revenge defeated Tivoli in a close match encounter. In Game 1 on Saturday, Tivoli won the toss and decided to take the field. Revenge seized the opportunity to put on 178 for 8 in their allotted 20 overs. Dwight Wildman had the highest score on the Revenge scorecard with 33 runs not out. Tahir Dorset and Giovanni McIntosh were the lead wicket takers for Tivoli, both having 3 wickets each. Revenge responded with a determined bowling effort, securing the win with just a few balls to spare. Davis Charles, the captain of the Tivoli team, with an effort of 28 runs in 12 balls, together with Kerry Phillips' 24 in 17, was not enough to take the win. Ronick Holder and Alex Blackett both shined in the bowling against Tivoli, with Holder's 4 for 21 from 4 overs and Blackett's 4 for 39 in 4 overs. Ronick Holder was awarded the man of the match. And finally, boxing is set to be among the sports at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics after a new governing body was selected. IOC Chief Thomas Bach said on Monday. Bach said that the IOC's executive board approved including boxing on the 2028 program after his organization recognized World Boxing to oversee the sport in the Olympics, ending years of divisions over the way the sport is run. This decision still needs to be rubber stamped by a full IOC session of about 100 members later this week, but that is expected to be only a formality. The IOC stepped in to organize the boxing tournaments at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021 and the Paris Olympics last year after breaking with the Russian-led International Boxing Association over financial governance and ethical concerns. Bach had warned that boxing's national federations needed to find a new and reliable international partner if it wanted to be included at the 2028 Games. That's the sports at this time. Stay with us. The weather forecast is up next, and that will be...
GBN family, we've got a brand new home on Facebook and you need to be there. Follow us now on Facebook at Grenada Broadcasting Network -GBN. Stay updated with the latest news, sports, entertainment, and everything Grenada. Don't miss out. Like, follow, and share. Grenada Broadcasting Network. Stay informed. Stay ahead. First with the news. Fast with the updates.
And folks, due to some personnel resources issues, there's no forecaster available this morning. Nonetheless, we've got the weather forecast via email. And that is the public forecast for the state of Grenada, valid from today, 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. The weather is expected to be generally fair and hazy with a slight increase in cloudiness during the morning and a low chance of isolated showers. Today's maximum temperature is expected to get up to 30.5 degrees Celsius. The winds are from the easterly to southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. The seas are moderate with waves up to 7 feet in open waters. The tides was high at 6:45 a.m. and will be low at 1 p.m. and high again at 6:45 p.m. Today's sunset was at 6:18 and the sunset will be at 6:18 rather, and the sunrise tomorrow is expected to be at 12 minutes after 6. For the modified version of the weather forecast, that is it for this time. Reminding you that it came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick & Thompson Company Limited.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Six minutes after 7 o'clock to end the news, a recap of the headlines. Kiffer Mitchell collapses in front of crowd. petroleum prices to decrease from today. In the region, Marcus Garvey plaque to be unveiled in Atlanta. Internationally, Rwanda and Belgium expel each other's diplomats over Congo conflict. And in sports, Mali, Oliveira, Revenge and Fountain secure crucial victories in the Dennis Cornwall St. Patrick's Cricket Council T20 tournament. That has been the morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, the 18th of March, 2025. On behalf of the entire news department, I'm Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening, wishing you a productive day, and extending the invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting, and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
Mobility, a common theme woven into the very fabric of human history. From ancient wanderers to modern explorers, our instinct to move, to seek something greater, and to grow has always driven us forward. Imagine a journey into pathways of boundless opportunities and endless possibilities. A collective future where the vibrant rhythms of the Caribbean, rich culture, and welcoming community create unforgettable experiences. Beyond citizenship by investment, we believe in our collective investment of time, resources, and energy that fosters innovation, creates jobs, and enriches lives, driving the growth of an entire nation. The Investment Migration Agency Grenada boasts over a decade of exceptional service and remains committed to guiding you toward global mobility and economic freedom through investment. Your journey becomes our shared story of progress and prosperity. This is an invitation to be part of something greater, something enduring. Begin your journey at imagrenada.gd. IMA Grenada. Unlock the possibilities.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union introduces its new digital platform, managing your finances at any time from anywhere.
As a part-time student, balancing work and studies can be a real challenge. But with GCCU's digital app, these worries are no more. My parents can now remotely transfer funds to my account and I can check my balance at any time, giving me the freedom to achieve my goals.
My days can be long and tedious. With this app, I can ensure my loan is paid on time, transfer funds to someone else's account, and check my balances. I don't have to rush to do business during my lunch hour or after work anymore.
With this app, I can request checks to pay my suppliers, letters for my business transactions. I don't have to leave my farm to go stand in line.
The Grenville Credit Union digital platform. It's convenient and secure banking right at your fingertips. Download the app today from the Play Store or App Store or call 442-8602, 459-4325 or 416-8467 for further information.
Agritech Limited Grenada is your one-stop shop for all your farming needs. We provide seeds and seedlings, pesticides, fertilizers, irrigation and water management systems, veterinary products, and a wide range of agricultural products and implements. Our staff is knowledgeable and ready to serve you. Call us on 435-9677 or 440-4460 or visit us in Happy Hill, St. George. We are open Open Monday to Saturday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. Agritech Limited Grenada. Come grow with us.
In a world driven by digital innovation, our future is defined by connectivity and communication, shaping how we learn, work, and interact. But what safeguards our digital rights? The Electronic Communications or EC Bill will. The EC Bill ensures rights such as improved quality of service, data privacy and security, support for universal service and access, and complaint resolution are protected, with a tribunal to resolve disputes. This is consumer protection. The EC Bill also ensures a competitive environment for electronic communications companies to enter the market. There are many other benefits of the EC Bill. Ectel is paving the way for a fair, secure, and inclusive digital society for our contracting states.
Ectel and the NTRCs, digitally transforming our space together.
Good morning and welcome to the conversation. It's 13 minutes after 7 o'clock, and as I told you earlier, we've got a very busy morning, jam-packed, if you want to say that. I've got with me in the studio at this time a representative from the OECS Pearl. They're here to talk about World International Day of Down Syndrome, which is Friday, and also Pearl's involvement with making life better for people with disabilities. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for having us.
Well, the pleasure is always ours here to accommodate these things. I'm starting with you. Your name?
Tonya Hyacinth, and I am the speech and language pathologist within the Ministry of Education.
Okay, so I need to work with me. All right, and?
Kathleen Francis Victor, Special Education Needs Officer, assigned to District 3.
District 3, that's where?
St. Andrews.
St. Andrews, okay. And you have to rush up. Okay. All right. So, as it relates to OECS Pearl's involvement, it's holistic. We had a number of conversations, but I'm very happy to know that even that segment of people with living with disabilities are being touched, and not just being touched, but touched, as Donald would say, bigly. All right. So, how are things progressing in that area?
Well, pretty fine. As we know, the pole has different components. And so one of the components enabling environment for equipped equality and special education needs. And they have basically four components, four areas that they need to touch. One is to address issues, provide activities to address those issues, to find the issues, first of all, get activities to address these issues so that we have positive outcomes, and so that what the output that we're putting, what they're putting into the activities, so we're going to get positive outcomes. And so the issues come about in 2021, the poll did a survey in Grenada, and we found out that the prevalence of special needs in the classroom and in the country on a whole. And so these issues have to be addressed in order to so POL can improve the availability of services, for children with special needs.
Okay. Now, the special needs thing, all right, is it always very obvious? Because I know, for example, you can see someone that has physical impediments and so forth, but is that all that is used to determine whether someone is someone with special needs?
You can go ahead.
No.
Okay.
Right, because it's not really obvious. It's not always obvious in a child. For example, a child may be autistic and it's not, you don't see it unless you interact with the child.
Okay.
Right, the child may have a language barrier, but you don't hear it until you start interacting with the child.
Or an intellectual disability, it's not always obvious. So we call them the hidden diagnoses or problems that we don't see but exist. And it has been around, long ago. They were always hidden. The children were hidden. The adults were hidden. Now we are exposing them to our society and have them as active participants of our society. So it's now how do we assist them, but also we as society accept them.
Right. But I asked that question as a prelude to this main question. Now, are our teachers being aptly trained to recognize and identify these people without the obvious symptoms?
Well, that is where POL comes in.
Okay.
Because POL's that is one of POL's future program to properly equip our teachers to diagnose as well as find strategies to assist the children in their learning.
Okay. All right,
and to be able to identify as well.
Okay.
What are the signs or the symptoms that you're going to see in the classroom, and then what are the next processes and steps? Who do you refer to? Where do we go? How do we turn? And then, of course, how do we accommodate them and teach them within our classrooms?
And within our education system, do we have sufficient schools and facilities to accommodate? Because before, we thought that it was just about people with the physical impediments that so we find a child that is walking, abnormally and has hand problems and so forth. But now, as you mentioned, autism and all these other speech problems and so forth. So do we have the adequate facilities? And, well, of course, Paul is going to train teachers, but currently, do we have sufficient trained personnel on island to deal with these people?
So there is more that we need to, and more that has to be done. There's lots of training that is needed, but I must say that we're in the process of inclusion and not segregation. And a lot of the times we think of special needs and we think they need to be in a building by themselves or a school by themselves. We are talking inclusion. And inclusion is within your classrooms, your normal, quote-unquote, normal classrooms. They are there. But it's how do we cater for them? And we can only cater for them via differentiated instructions. So it's not teaching everybody the same thing at the same time, or even if you're teaching something the same thing in the same time, what are the methods and strategies that we're using to cater to the person who needs help?
So that involves the whole revolutionizing of the education system in terms of delivery and so forth.
Yeah, and
definitely.
That is where POL comes in also, because they have been doing community sensitization activities. They have been hosting those activities. Presently, there's a Hanin motor words, right? Certification training. That is a training that is happening in St. Andrews presently. With 6 parents. So you get experience to understand how to deal with the autistic children that they're autistic children. The program will continue after the 6 parents and be spread across Grenada, right? And we also through POL, the SCN unit would have had a psychosocial session for the parents in St. Andrew's School for Special Ed. So all these is sensitizing parents and the community as to what is happening with POL, what is happening with the children, and getting the community to accept the children, both in the special school as well as in our mainstream schools.
Okay. It is often said better late than never. So there's no time like the present to start, but I like the approach of inclusion. It's a good approach. It has a lot to do. It has to do with a lot of education, re-education, and everything, and not just with the students or the persons who are affected, but by the entire populace.
Definitely. And I want to add that POL is assisting in this, but also we are training our teachers who are going through Teachers College. In inclusive education and special needs. So as they come out of teacher ed, they are also trained and equipped to now go into our classrooms. It may not be as full-fledged as we like, but we are pushing, and it's a start. It's a start to get us where we want to go.
Okay. And you in your capacity, this special capacity that should have interacted with me a lot of years earlier so I would have been able to talk properly. What's your role within the whole Pearl and the education sphere?
Well, not necessarily Pearl. Of course, we're part of the unit, so whatever Pearl is doing, we are there to support. But in terms of speech, what we do is we conduct speech assessments within schools once we have a referral that's in. So there must be a referral and a parental consent. So we cannot assess children without parents' consent. And then from there, depending on what we see, we can then advise the parents as to what needs to be done to cater and assist their children. So we have had that increasing need for speech. We've seen it, and through the OACS pool, we will be getting more equipment and testing kits so that we can test and assess our children to be able to give them proper diagnoses and the assistance that they need coming forward.
Okay. How tough a task is this?
It is quite a task. We have a number of children on island, and we see that the numbers are increasing. The numbers are increasing even within our autism population as well. The numbers are increasing. So there's lots of collaborations from the Ministry of Education's end to make sure that our teachers, our staff, our parents are trained and equipped to handle and manage what we are seeing on island.
The numbers that you're seeing, are they scary? Or, I mean, my question is, why are we recognizing so many of them now and not earlier?
Well, recognition is all about education. I think now that we are more educated on what we're seeing, that we now can put a name, an actual name to what you see. In the past, in the years gone by, you saw something, but you weren't sure exactly what it was, or what was the title attached to what the behaviors that you saw. And now that we have those, there's better diagnostic processes as well that's accounting for us seeing them more.
So it's not a case necessarily of the numbers are increasing. It's a case of the recognition of them.
The recognition.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, better late than never again.
Of course.
Yeah. So, and Pearl is to the rescue. I'm so happy, as someone behind education myself, I really like the approach of inclusion, So in the not too distant future, we might not necessarily have a school for special education. We have a school.
Yeah.
That's good.
Correct.
Okay. So anything we left off?
Yes, so Paul is in the process of procuring diagnostic assessment kits. As you said, Paul to the rescue. So they're in the process of doing that so that we can use to have more children being diagnosed. And as Miss Hyson said, put a name to it, right? To what is the diagnostic is about. Yes. So they're procuring some diagnostic assessment kits. They're procuring some assistive devices. So the children who has problem in speaking, they will have a tablet today, that they can do speech to text or text to speech, whatever they want, so that teachers can better be able to assist the children.
And that would even work with the hearing impaired and visual impaired.
Right.
Wow.
So a child with mobile hand movement may have this a mouse that he can use specific for him to use to assist, in manipulating the computer. They're training teachers to use these assistive devices. They're in the process of purchasing also SEN survey, publishing the SEN survey result that was done in 2021. So the public will know this. This is our prevalent SEN or special needs, and so we can be able to deal with it. They're continuing to do community sensitization and also professional development for our teachers so they can assist them, give them the tools they need to deal with our children.
Okay. That's really, really, really good. World International
World Down Syndrome Day.
World Down Syndrome Day is on Friday.
It's on Friday,
And-
March 21st.
And what are the plans from the Ministry of Education's perspective?
So from the Ministry of Education, we are going to be collaborating with two of our partners, of course, the OECS Pearl and also the Grenada Down Syndrome Association. It's Rock Your Socks. So you wear mismatched socks on that day. And that's really for the world and persons to understand that persons with Down syndrome has an extra chromosome. So for us, we are born and we get chromosomes from our both sides, our mothers and fathers, the X and the Y's, right? But you have two pairs of every chromosome. And for that 21st chromosome, persons tend to have 3. And that's why you have the March 21st, because it's the 21st chromosome that's affected, and you have 3 of that, March considered the 3rd month. So the UN in 2011 declared March 21st as World Down Syndrome Day, and it's really to raise awareness and advocate for persons with Down syndrome. Having them be included in society, they are participatory, having them in the communities, participating in all activities, functional members of society, have them employed. So those are things that we would like to see. And this year, the theme for World Down Syndrome Day is improving our support systems. Okay. So how do we, as society and ministry, improve the services that we offer to our students with Down syndrome? For us at the Ministry of Education internally at headquarters, there will be a slogan competition as well as the Rock Your Socks competition. So we look forward to that, and we will be collaborating with the Grenada Down Syndrome Association on the Saturday, which is March 22nd. They will be hosting your Swim Your Socks Off. So you gather at umbrellas from 11 a.m. and you swim down the beach and back. And then at 3 p.m., it's going to be Walk Your Socks. So we walk with the Down syndrome individuals right around Camahan Park and then return to Camahan Park and have a fun day. So for us at Education, we're excited. All our schools will be participating in Rock Your Socks. So it's a day where you would see a lot of the children with mismatched colored socks on, and that's in recognition and support of our children with Down syndrome. Some of the features that you would see for persons with Down syndrome so that you can identify them is they tend to have low set eyes that slant upwards. They tend to have small mouths, so we say the tongue always hang out of the mouth. So the tongue seems to be big but hangs out. If you look at the palm of your hand, we tend to have, for the Down syndrome population, one single crease that goes straight across. Their hands, they tend to have a flattened back of the head as well. They tend to be very floppy, so they don't have much muscle tone. So we say that they have loose muscles, low set ears, you can see as well. They tend to be very short in stature as well. And they can have other medical complications or conditions attached to the diagnosis of Down syndrome. So they can have cardiac issues or heart issues, gastric, so their eating patterns may not be as it should. They can have hearing problems as well, and also thyroid function problems. So they often have to have these tests to make sure that their thyroid functions are up to standards. But it's not that they can't learn, but it's how do we educate them and provide for them.
So it therefore means that we first have to be educated in delivering education to them. And let me ask this. Persons with Down syndrome, if taken care of properly, can they live lengthy, full lives?
Definitely.
10?
Definitely.
Yes,
okay.
Definitely. And they can be employed, function in society. We do have about 3 that are employed on island that I'm aware of. And that's a good thing, but we need to now employ more.
Yeah.
So we have the hearing impaired that's employed, that we know of. We have the Down syndrome, but how do we now employ other persons with disabilities within our societies and have them functional members and not relying on state help.
Okay.
Yeah? How do we make them independent? That's something that we as society have to think of.
Just wanted to add something that Ms. Hyacinth would have left out in terms of education and what they want for the Down syndrome children, the activities. And they will encourage the schools to have their own internal competition. We rock the socks, right?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I want to wish the Ministry of Education and, of course, the OECS Pearl, and by extension, the parenting population of Grenada, the education sector, that will come up to speed and get into the habit of inclusion. And, I do hope that all the requisite training will be provided for teachers and for parents and by extension the society, so that we get into a more engaging mindset, that we start seeing them as equal, because they are.
Yeah, correct.
They are.
Correct.
So continue doing what you're doing, and I do hope that the results would show, and I believe they will.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having us.
The pleasure is always ours here at the GBN. Folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back. We've got more conversation after these messages. Don't you go.
For success, call us at 444-4919 or visit us at acbonline.com to learn more. Start, manage, expand your business today.
Shop with confidence at Quartz. Get the lowest prices guaranteed. Get appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. If you find a lower price on any other products elsewhere, we'll match the price. Plus, we'll give you back 110% of the difference. Shop with confidence only at Quartz. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
How am I supposed to finish cooking like this? I wonder if climate change is behind all these water shortages. Time to think about the future. It's really time to invest in a proper water storage tank, What water tanks you guys have available?
We have 450 gallons for a family of 3, 800 gallons for a family of 5, and 1,000 gallons for a family of 7. Purchasing any of these tanks will ensure that you have enough water stored.
Don't be like me and wait until you're out of water. Be smart. Be prepared. Invest in a proper water storage tank today.
Hey
GBN family, we've got a brand new home on Facebook and you need to be there. Follow us now on Facebook at Grenada Broadcasting Network -GBN. Stay updated with the latest news, sports, entertainment, and everything Grenada. Don't miss out. Like, follow, and share. Grenada Broadcasting Network. Stay informed. Stay ahead. First with the news. Fast with the updates.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. I told you it's going to be busy this morning, and I've got with me a goodly gentleman, Mr. Omar Birch Smith. He is the regional manager, CIS manager for... I would let him introduce himself. Yes, my site is a bit going.
So good morning, Gordon. Good morning to your listeners.
Wow, it's a pleasure to hear you call my name so prolific. Yes.
Thanks for having us this morning, right? So yeah, I'm Omar Birch Smith, Regional CIS Manager, UTC Global Balance Fund Limited. I know that's a mouthful.
Well, yes, for some.
Yes. You could just refer to it as GBFL.
Right, yeah.
GBFL. Yeah.
Okay, so in a little pre-conversation, we were talking about, conversations I was having with one of our financial institutions, and they've got this program Money Wise and so forth, and trying to get people to be financial independent and so forth. And one of the things that we recognize in Grenada, there are not many exposures to instruments for investment to make you financially independent. So what would you say is UTC Global?
Yeah, so I like your introduction, because what we found throughout the OECS is that we save very well, right? The OECS has quite a bit of excess savings. Our governor of the central bank, Governor Antoine, who's Grenadian,
of course,
always laments the fact that we save well, but we don't even invest.
We save too much, and we don't invest.
Now, savings are necessary. Savings are good, right? Because you have upcoming expenses, you have unforeseen expenses. We all need an emergency fund. But if you're trying to build wealth or become financially independent, a term that you used a while ago, you have to invest, right? So the UTC Global Balance Fund was really created to bridge that gap in the OECS, right? In islands like mine, St. Lucia, and yours, Grenada, right? Where, like I said, we save very well, but we don't invest. And it's not because people don't want to, but simply because there've not been enough products for you to invest in, right? So the GBFL is an investment fund. It's a mutual fund. It's the first of its kind in the OECS. We launched in St. Lucia in 2023, November. We actually launched in St. Vincent last year in November as well. And we're here this week in Grenada to launch the fund in Grenada. So we are a subsidiary of Unitrust Corporation, who is the largest mutual fund provider out of Trinidad and Tobago. They've been around for 43 years. Serving 600,000 unit holders in Trinidad, managing about $3.5 billion US, right, over that period of time. So we've moved into the OECS, and we're bringing that opportunity now for Grenadians to start their investment journey.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this. Welcome to Grenada.
Thank you.
But you expect a sort of pushback, all right? Because Grenadians, and it's not in a negative tone.
Yeah.
The exposure wasn't there.
Right.
And in this day and age where everything seems to be scamish,
right,
we're very, very, standoffish.
Correct.
So maybe with thorough education and so forth, and stimulation and so forth you would get. So maybe we could start by explaining what would you say is a mutual fund?
Right. So you touched on a few things there, and I want to address all of them, right? But I'll start with the last question. So a mutual fund is simply the pooling of funds or money of many investors into one fund, right? So Gordon, I'm sure you've heard about people trading stocks and people trading bonds. And the returns are there, and some people want to get started, but they may not have the ability or the time to do it, right? Because you have to be actively involved if you're managing your own portfolio. So what a mutual fund does is it says, okay, you buy shares in a fund, and the fund makes those investments on your behalf, right?
And you get the returns.
You get the returns. So immediately you benefit from that professional management, right? Because you don't have the time. You're a busy radio personality. Somebody might be a doctor. Somebody might be a fisherman. Somebody might be a barber. You don't have the time to sit down and watch the markets, knowing to buy or sell. You buy into a fund like ours and you benefit from the returns. The second thing you said is something that I'm very passionate about because, yes, there are a number of scams, a lot of pyramid schemes. Even in my island of St. Lucia, there's a very popular one right now. And you get these get-rich-quick schemes, right? Put in this amount and you'll get 5 times the amount tomorrow, right? I want to tell the people of Grenada that this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. A mutual fund is a way for long-term investment, right? So there is no minimum holding period to say that you have to keep your money in the fund for any amount of time. It's a liquid fund. You could buy your shares today and sell your shares tomorrow, right?
Okay.
But for you to see the true value of investing in a mutual fund like ours, you have to stay the course, right? For the medium to long term. So I make the joke from time to time. I say, well, if you're trying to save for Spice Mass, you can't invest in UTC GBFL, right?
Okay.
But if you're thinking about your retirement in 5 years, or you're thinking about sending that kid off to university in 10 years, this is the ideal product. You did mention Grenadians pushing back. One of the things that's important to understand is we are licensed and regulated by the Eastern Caribbean Securities Commission, right?
Okay.
The ECSRC, Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission. They're located in St. Kitts on the same campus as the ECCB, right? It's a group of regulators. The ECCB regulates banks. ECSRC, they regulate securities business, right? So they regulate licensed brokers like Cooperative Bank. Cooperative Bank is a commercial bank and a licensed broker. So it's a similar type regulator, right? So we're actively monitored and regulated by the ECSRC. So this is not a fly-by-night scam, right? I want to let the Grenadians know. Then you touched on education. So that's actually one of our central pillars because we understand that there's a financial literacy gap in the OECS. And slowly but surely, we're going to do our part to help fill this gap. So I don't know if you heard of it. There was an investment conference here in Grenada last year in November. Yep. So yeah, GBFL, I was here, I presented, spoke to a number of folks after. We actually have a seminar tonight, a public seminar this evening at 5:30 at the Trade Center. So we invite all your listeners and your viewers to come down where we'll give more information about the fund. And we will also be doing a session on personal finance as well, right? So we understand that educating the public is paramount, is key in this endeavor. And we're inviting folks to come down to the Trade Center this evening to get more information on the fund and begin that process. I always tell people, don't be afraid to ask questions, right? If you're not investment savvy or you're not sure how mutual fund works or investment works, it's fine. Ask the questions. We're at there ready to help you on that journey.
It's so sad that we got left behind in that era, yeah. But it's as I just said with my previous interview, is better late than never.
Correct. Better late than never.
Yeah. And what sort of commodities does the
so
trading?
A fund like ours, the Global Balance Fund, we invest in international assets, right? So it's a balanced fund. We invest in international equities and we invest in international bonds and regional bonds, right? So it's a balanced portfolio aimed at driving return but also managing risk, right? So that's why I mentioned that it's really a medium to long-term proposition when you invest in a fund like ours. So one of the key benefits of mutual funds are diversification. I don't know if your mom ever used to tell you, Gordon, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, right? Definitely.
So that's one of the critical things that we do. We invest in many assets. The fund right now has over 60 assets in there, right? So that diversification allows us to spread our risk, right? But we're also able to benefit from returns. So to your listeners, think of large companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, U.S. Treasuries. Yeah, we have exposures in emerging markets, Australia, Germany, Finland, Thailand, you name it, right? We're not investing in anything risky like foreign exchange or
Bitcoins.
cryptocurrencies. No, none of that.
Okay.
No real estate, because it's a liquid fund. As I mentioned, investors can sell their shares at any time. So we invest in high quality liquid assets in an effort to manage risk.
Is there a minimum investment?
Yes. And I'm glad you asked that question, because before, folks would think, when I'm thinking investments, you think I need to be a millionaire or I need to have this amount.
Money goes where money is.
You only need 100 US to start, or 272 EC, right? And any purchase thereafter is a minimum of 20 US or 55 EC. So it's really a product for the everyday man. And those who may be of more means, right? They can also invest because they'll benefit likewise, right? And everybody benefits equally. That's why it's called a mutual fund, right? Everybody benefits equally. You don't get more of a return because you invested more. No.
So because you could invest $1 million, you get a higher percentage return.
No, there's none of that. No.
Okay.
Somebody comes with $1 million, you come if you're 100, you each benefit the same. It all depends on when you invest, right? And the time to invest is now.
What would you refer to? What time span would you refer to as medium to long term?
Right. So in investments, medium to long term is anything from about 3 years and up, right? So 3 to 5 years would be called medium term. Some say 3 to 7 maybe, and then anything beyond 7 years is your long term, right? So we all have goals, Gordon, right? Some of us know, well, all right, I'm retiring in 5 years. That's a medium-term goal. I'm sending this kid off to university in 10 years. That's a long-term goal. I want to build an apartment downstairs, right, so I can make some rent. That might be in 3 years. That's a medium-term goal. But if you're traveling for the summer, that's a short-term goal, and you should not invest in a mutual fund like ours.
Well, you should have, but you should have done it a year or two before.
Yeah, in 2021.
Okay. Right. So you want to invest in Spice Mass 2030. This is a good time to buy
into. Time, yeah.
Yeah, this is a good time. Now, as we said, because of culturally, Cooperative Bank, I don't know if you know that because you're St. Lucian. Cooperative Bank was called the penny bank, right?
Yes.
And it came about by people saving small amounts. In Grenada, I don't know if it's the same culture in St. Lucia.
Yeah.
We find our grandparents and great-grandparents didn't used to go to the bank. They put the money under the mattress and things like that.
Right.
And it's not because they didn't want to save, because they saved it, but they like every now and then to go and check it and make sure.
Right.
I invest in the mutual fund. How do I keep track of my assets?
So that's a critical point. So when you invest in the mutual fund, you buy shares at a certain price, right? That price is known as the net asset value or the NAV, right? It's simply the value of the fund. And Gordon, every evening we value the fund, right? So the fund is valued every evening and the price is placed on our website. So if you go onto our website, utcgbfl.com, you will see the price at the end of the, you'll see the price for the day, right? So you'll see last night's price on the day. So if you log onto our website, say by 8:30 this morning, you'll see last night's price or yesterday's price. So once you know the number of shares that you have, you're able to keep track of your investments.
And calculate it. Wow.
Yeah, very soon we'll roll out a portal for a client portal. Clients will be able to log in and see their holdings. So like I said, it's very transparent because the law requires that it must be transparent. It must be so. Since I mentioned the law, I just wanted to state one more thing in terms of protections for investors. So in addition to the regulator, there's also a custodian who keeps all our assets in custody, right? So all our stocks, all our bonds, all our cash, they're held by an independent custodian. They're not held by the fund, right? So the Eastern Caribbean Central Securities Depository, which is also located in St. Kitts on the same campus with the regulator and the
Why they put all of them same place? If a fire goes, man.
But they all cover the region. Yeah. So, but that's an added protection, so that while we manage the fund and we make the investment decisions, they have custody of them, right? So there are several protections in place, and these are enshrined in the law, right? The Securities Act of and the collective investment scheme or mutual fund regulations, that's law in Grenada.
Okay.
It's law throughout the Caribbean.
It's like in the insurance sector, they have the reinsurers. Yeah.
Well, it's slightly different. Added protection, yes, but slightly different. Yeah, because the custodian doesn't guarantee; they just hold the assets.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, like I said, I can speak for Grenada. Education and getting the people more comfortable.
Yep.
Because Ariza Credit Union is here with us every Monday and Wednesday.
Right.
And one of the things that they are pushing is the need to invest. And I wish the financial sector, not just the institutions, but the sector as a whole, the regulatory bodies and so forth, can get on board and start sensitizing the public on the importance of investing, and also the importance of knowing what to invest
in, yeah.
And then presenting them with the options for investment.
Yeah, that's such a good point, and it's really important to invest because, over the last few years in the Caribbean, I'm imagining Grenada as well, we've been impacted hard by inflation, right? So you've had that $100 in the bank, and you may get $2 on it, right? 2%, which is what the bank pays. But then what cost $100 last year or 2 years ago cost $110.
Yep.
What you've effectively done, Gordon, is you've actually decreased your wealth, right? By that difference between inflation and the interest. So it's important for us to invest, not only to make money, but to actually preserve our wealth. Going back to Financial Information Month last year, I think the theme throughout the OECS was turning savers to investors, right? And at the conference held here last year, it was the theme as well. The governor attended and he spoke to it. And I think there's a commitment throughout the financial services sector, banks and credit unions, to get the conversation going. But education is a critical part, right? So that seminar today is a start. Tomorrow we have a technical training with the credit unions, to get them up to speed as well. And then as we continue the journey along with our partners in Grenada and throughout the Caribbean, we continue to preach education. Even on our own social media platforms right now, so folks can go onto Instagram and Facebook, and we have a financial fitness series there, which are 1-minute videos, 2-minute videos, which teach you how to do a budget. What is a savings account, savings versus investments, So there's a wealth of information that we're trying to bring out. The journey has just begun here in Grenada and in the OECS. But with time, a generation will grow up with the knowledge that, I save, but my primary function with my finances is investments.
Yeah. Let me ask this. Someone listening and viewing the conversation now and is convinced that, hey, I think I need to... They've been pondering for a while. But I think now this gentleman, Mr. Smith, has now convinced me that I want to invest, and I want to invest in this mutual fund.
Yes.
How do they start doing that in Grenada?
They could start right now. We go onto our website. There'll be a link on how to get started, and you could just get on board. It's similar to opening up a bank account, right? So it's no different. If you do need more information, you can send an email via the website, and we get back to you within the same day. And it takes about a day to open up the account. It's a US dollar fund, but we accept EC as well. So folks can send money via transfer to the bank accounts and get started right away. It's a fairly simple process.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, very soon we will have a distributor here in Grenada. We're just finalizing the agreement. And once they're able to distribute the shares on our behalf, we will notify the public, and they will as well. So it's a very large institution here, so I won't say it live on air, but very soon they'll be on board and they'll be distributing. So that'll make it even easier as well.
Wow.
But Grenadians do have the option now via
to
our
go
website.
online.
Yeah. So utcgbfl.com.
I can tell you, we Grenadians like seeing to believe,
Yeah.
So I want to be able to go into that building and say, right, I'm here to invest.
Yeah,
that's how we are.
I understand, and a lot of it's the same in St. Lucia. That's why a lot of people they they come in all the time, you know. They say, I heard about this, but I want to come and see you, you know. So it's fine. And that's why we say, well, all right, come down to the Trade Center this evening, you know. We'll be down there. You get to meet us in person and ask all the questions,
What time does it start?
5:30.
5:30, and you expect it to go up to what? About
just still about 7.
Okay.
Yeah, still about 7. So it's expected to be an interactive engagement.
Okay. Well, Mr. Smith, thanks for dropping by, and this is a lot of food for thought.
Yes.
And I do hope that, you know, we can get more and more information on this so that we here in the media can start pushing that narrative and getting our people up to speed with the importance of investing and securing a future. Financial independence.
I always tell folks a selfless act. You invest for yourself, yes, but you also invest in for your future, and your kids' future, you know, create that legacy by starting today. So thanks for having me, Gordon.
The pleasure is always mine. Yes, good.
Thanks.
Folks, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back. We've got a final guest when we get back.
GBN family, we've got a brand new home on Facebook and you need to be there. Follow us now on Facebook at Grenada Broadcasting Network -GBN. Stay updated with the latest news, sports, entertainment, and everything Grenada. Don't miss out. Like, follow, and share. Grenada Broadcasting Network. Stay informed, stay ahead. First with the news, fast with the updates.
Got something to share?
Call us at 440-1252.
WhatsApp 405-3052 or 407-8458.
Or email gbnnews@gbn.gd.
GBN News, first, accurate, voted #1.
I think nutrition is an integral part of managing many of the diseases that we see manifesting here in our region. If we don't make food our medicine, medicine will eventually become our food.
We're trying to focus on reading food labels because reading food labels, it's also another important factor in making sure that we as persons choose healthier food options.
Join us on Caribbean Medical TV right here on this station.
just like a freestyle. The lifeblood flowing mile by mile. It's legacy, a beat that don't stop like Bob Marley said. One love on top. The sewage water out of sight, but it's always wrong. Don't lose the light. From factories and wells so deep, crocodiles, mangroves and fish they weep. Grey water for the garden, keep it green. Save the cash and the earth gets clean. We use the water with a mindful mind. It's out of sight but never far behind. In nature, the answers always flow. Like water running pure, the cycle grows. It renews itself, same drop, same beat. It's all good, man, you got the heat. Water flow, water flow. No clean water, no vibes they grow. Protect our water, protect our future.
Time to go.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. Thank God. This is the final one for the morning. I'm exhausted, talk so much. All right, I've got with me members from the Ministry of Social Development. And in case you didn't know, today is actually World Social Work Day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, you all been practicing over there, boy. All the songs so harmonious and melodious and everything like that. So tell me, you all are representing the Ministry of Social Development. What is the Ministry of Social Development's main role? What does it do? I mean, as in that ministry, what do you do? Social development. When you talk development, we're looking at physical structures going up here, there, and everywhere. We talk social development. What is that ministry really about?
Well, the Ministry of Social Development has a multifaceted role in terms of human development, not physical, but human development. And there are various units within the ministry which deals with different aspects of human development. So we have the social work unit, we have probation unit, we have the juvenile justice unit, division, we have the gender-based violence unit, psychosocial unit, so and even the safety net aspect of the ministry. So it's multifaceted, but it's geared towards human development. Okay, and that line minister there is Senator Gloria Thomas. Yes.
Okay, good morning, Senator. How are you doing, Minister? Hope you're all doing fine. And how difficult a job is this? I mean, are you busy and is it hectic?
It definitely is. It's very hectic, and that's why we have to find a balance, because sometimes it can be very overwhelming to the point that you can be burnt out. So that's why we have to practice good safety measures for ourselves.
Okay.
Yes, and be able to impact those that we're dealing with on a daily basis.
Yeah, dance ahead before you dance abroad. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, today is actually World Social Work Day. And how did that day come about? I was just speaking with the folks from OECS Pearl, and the 21st of March is World Down Syndrome's Day, right? And they were able to justify it because 21 comes about with the number of chromosomes that make them in that Down state, and the third is March, the March month. So they created that. Why today? How did that come about?
Well, originally the United Nations social workers who attend the United Nations started observing the day as a day to highlight the importance and the impact that social workers have on society, as well as the challenges. But I can't remember exactly when, but the International Federation of Social Workers adopted the day, and it became an international day where social workers all over the world use this day today to highlight the achievements, the challenges, and to just inform the public on the role of social workers in society, which is a very impactful role that we play in society, responding to disasters, responding to any challenge that the society may face. As recent as Hurricane Beryl, we were one of the first groups on the ground in Carriacou and PT Martinique providing assistance. So basically, social workers are like unsung heroes in our communities.
I like how you put it.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes you don't even get the recognition, but you do.
We do what we have to.
Yeah. In terms of the psychosocial aspect of it, do you team up with other agencies, like with psychosocial, we talk about legal aid and counseling clinic, the special victims unit, I know the RGPF and so forth, Child Protection Authority? Do you all collaborate on efforts like those?
Well, it's good you asked that, actually, because today is our sensitization event that is happening at the Esplanade Mall courtyard, and we have 20 of our stakeholders that's going to be featured there at that event. So we do have representatives from the agencies that you call, like the police force through SVU and the CRD department. They're going to be there, so the public can definitely come out and interact with the officers and get an understanding as to what they do. We do have other stakeholders like legal aid and counseling. We have our psychosocial unit. They're going to be there as well. The members from the gender-based violence unit, our SEED department. We have the men's desk. We have quite a few. So we have 20.
You have the men's desk too?
Yes.
Because the men are usually left out, partners?
Yes. Sometimes.
Okay.
Right. So we have 20 stakeholders that's going to be featured at our sensitization event this morning. We start at 11 a.m. and we go out to 3 p.m. this afternoon. So feel free, come by, interact with us, get an idea as to what we do, the services we provide, and the stakeholders that we partner with to bring general care to our citizens.
Now, the next question I'm going to throw out, it's timely, all right, and it might fall under the auspices of the Special Victims Unit and the RGPF. But one of the plagues of society has always been domestic violence, gender-based violence, as Tyrone Buckmeyer likes to call it. All right. Would you say that we are on the rise, or we're seeing, because a lot of psychosocial programs have been rolled out, so are we getting it under control? Men and women are behaving themselves better and understanding that violence is a choice and you don't have to respond with violence. Are we seeing the numbers going down, or are they going up, or are they leveling up?
I wouldn't be able to say specifically the numbers is going down, because that's a different division from us. That is the division of gender.
All right, okay.
And there is the gender-based violence unit within that division. But from just observing, we are seeing that the unit and the division is working hard doing sensitization programs to impact the persons affected by gender-based violence. They also provide services for the persons who are already in a situation of gender-based violence, housing, other safety needs that safety net needs that they would have, groceries, etc. Do we need to do more? Yes, especially in terms of working with the perpetrators of gender-based violence, because if we only work with the women, because of human nature, the woman will go back to the same man. But he has not been improved, so the cycle will continue. Or even if she doesn't go back in that relationship, he moves on to another relationship, and he continues.
Same thing.
So we also need to empower men as much as we empower women to understand that that is not the way to deal with conflict.
And that's actually the name of one of the psychosocial programs, yeah? Empower.
Yes.
For the men. Yeah, so, okay. So you've got a week of activities going on now. What are the activities you're having this week? You just spoke about an event that starts at 11 today. What are the other activities you have?
So our week of activities actually started on Sunday. We started off with a church service, and we visited the non-parochial Open Bible Church. We had our minister and our permanent secretary attend the church with us as well. Monday was deemed our media day, so we had quite a few teams going out to our different media outlets. I know you weren't able to facilitate us yesterday, so here we are this morning on Actual World Social Work Day, and we're happy to be here so that we can do an additional promotion this morning.
Well, at least you're working.
Yes. Definitely.
Social Work Day.
Yes. So today is the actual World Social Work Day, and instead of relaxing and enjoying a day off, what we have decided to do is have a sensitization activity whereby we engage the public and we share our knowledge, let them know what we do, what are the services we provide, and how we can help the members in our community. That's taking place today. And tomorrow, which is Wednesday, we have what is called office swap. So we have our supervisors from the different units and sub-offices. We are going to be engaged in visiting another stakeholder's place of work. So we partnering with the Child Protection Authority, the Grand Bachelor Juveniles and Rehabilitation Center, the His Majesty's Prisons, the General Hospital, and the Bungay Hospital. So our supervisors are going to be changing their office for the day by visiting these other agencies.
That's good.
Because these are persons that we partner with to bring social interventions to our clients. And then on Thursday, the rest of our staff, they're going to be exchanging internally. So our staff that works, example, at the Ministerial Complex in St. George's, some may be sent to the office in St. Andrew or in St. Mark. So we're switching internally so we can get a feel as to what it is like to work at a different office. So that is basically our week of activities for this year's celebration.
I didn't hear about a cook-up on the beach or anything like that. All work and no play mix, even social workers, dull boys and girls, isn't it?
Yes, it does.
True.
Yeah, so, okay, well, I mean, it's important. I mean, one of the things that I keep stressing and emphasizing is the importance of education to the public. All right? If the public doesn't know of the services that you provide, then they would remain victims and victimized and not knowing that there is help. So it's important to always let them know. And one of the ways is by visiting us ever so often and letting your presence be felt in the various communities. So why not just pop up in Beaton on the Rock one afternoon and say, come and have a chat with the guys? You know, this sort of things work. Not all the time people like to see people in jacket and tie on beyond the headlines and, you know, this TV, you know, interaction where someone can ask you a personal question. Partners, I had that problem.
Yeah.
How would you deal with that? You know, that human touch. So these are some of the approaches that I would like to see more. I'm seeing you all, I'm hearing of you all, but I think from a national perspective, it would be so much more impactful.
And I believe that's one of our challenges. I work along in the court unit, social worker attached to the court.
Did I see you in the court yesterday?
I am not sure.
Were you in the Supreme Court yesterday?
No,
okay.
I'm in the Magistrate Court, St. George Magistrate Court. That's where I'm assigned to. And one of the issues, one of the challenges that we face with persons, they are not aware of the social worker's role in the court. So when the magistrate would assign us to matters, they're not cooperative. And they're like, why do I have to be the social worker? Well, what's the point? You know, and it's to hear their perspective and bring the issues out on the table and see how we can come up with a solution together.
For them.
And
they're thinking you're the enemy.
Yes, so they're thinking I'm taking sides. We're taking sides. But it's not about taking sides, giving everything a fair play. Not being biased, but trying to assist the situation. So we deal with maintenance and family interventions, so dealing with family disputes and so forth within the court system. And also we provide emotional and social support, because sometimes persons come to court and they're not well prepared. They're not dressed. They do not know how to speak in the court, how to address the magistrate. So we assist them in those ways. So persons ask, on a daily basis, they ask, Miss, are you a lawyer? No, I'm not a lawyer.
You kind of look like one.
I am a social worker attached to the court, here to assist to the best of our abilities, and we're there to give resources. So if someone is in need of, let's say, psychosocial intervention, we can refer them to counseling unit. If someone is in need of parenting sessions to help them parent their child better, or the children better, we refer them to parenting unit, or we have a sit down and find out what are the issues, why you cannot co-parent, because when a relationship has finished, you know, we see maintenance matters coming in the court. when a relationship has ended, sometimes they would say it's like the father end the relationship with the child, just the same.
Not knowing that the child is the common denominator.
Right. So we want to find a common ground where both parents can speak and open up that avenue where they can share ideas and move forward and create a better bond for their children in the long run. So that's why we're here.
Okay. Wow.
Just to add, you mentioned about the community engagements, and I just wanted to say that last year we had some community engagements. This year we plan to have even more. And just for example, the social workers at the Grenville sub-office, they developed a program after seeing the issues appearing at the Grenville Magistrate Court. Domestic violence, obscene language, assault, etc., alcoholism. They developed a program which was launched last October in the Monlong community, where we had over 30 men participating in that program and successfully
completed.
You were
the program?
Well, I visited.
Did you meet Zeggy? He's a troublesome guy in Monlong. Zeggy's a troublesome guy in Monlong.
Or maybe he was a part of it, because most of the men in the community were actively engaged, and we were really surprised to see them actively engaged in that program, which is a 3-phase program. So we're going to continue this this year in alcoholism, 2nd phase, and the 3rd phase is more family oriented.
I'm wondering why alcoholism was the topic chosen in Monlong, boy. But it's important, you know. I'm very happy that we have to get out of the reactive stance and be a little more proactive. You know, remedy the problem before it shows up its head. You know, and you know, if all is done right and well, Grenada would be really the gem, eh?
Yes.
Somebody's seeking some information. Let's entertain. That's the first call for the morning. Good morning, caller.
You know, I can't see the faces because my television is not working at this time. But I'm just curious because, you know, last year, 2 people from this social development services or whatnot came to my home. You know, I'm suffering here with 1 foot for 5 years now. The 15th of March, just gone, made it 5 years. And, you know, my doctor's report, you know, and I have to say kudos to this Cuban doctor, Dr. Dupree, because he had done a good job on me. But he knows definitely I would not be able to walk for the rest of my life. And so this report, you know, I sometimes hate to read it because here I am sitting on this bed here, listening to these people speaking. And I'm very much surprised and disappointed because speaking the truth, and I'm a victim and I've become victimized. You know, I'm forcing the issue to speak here this morning with a heavy heart on 1 foot because I'm having so much different problems confronting me. And it seems to me as if these people here are taking me for a ride. You know, the minister took my number. I haven't received a call from her. You know, it's 1 year going, but as I said, 5 years of this great tribulation. But it's even more than 5 years because little child, 8 years old, a gentleman snatched me in my throat, in my collar, and threatened to kill me with a cutlass in his hand. And I'm suffering with that. Even down to last year, 24 December, well, this guy, they said, is mental. And he approached me with a stone while I'm in the wheelchair in the road and threatened to push me down in a precipice. You know, I had to try to fight to defend myself against it. I'm wondering here, you know, the people came, they talk about $300 worth of groceries as a one-off something. Oh, God, my God. A man suffering with 1 foot cannot walk and whatnot, etc. You as a government and people in office and whatnot, you will look to give me what, $300 worth of grocery? $300 worth of grocery, my friend, would only last me probably for a week, probably even less than that. And I'm rather surprised that you all, you know, speaking here and, you know, talking so much and whatnot. And I am feeling victimized. I hope my message is reached. But I'm saying again, please, because if I probably could have attend any one of these programs, I definitely would attend, and I would give you all peace of my heart personally in public. But I know I'm in public here right now. I hope my message is reached, and I hope you all will stop this foolish.
Okay, thank you, caller. Seems to have a disgruntled someone that seems to be in dire need of some visitations and some assistance.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear of the experience of the client, and if we have his information, we could always do another intervention to see how we can assist. He spoke about the grocery assistant. That is the parameters we have to work with. This is the criteria for the program. So we as social workers, we cannot go against what is mandated.
Yeah.
If there's a recommendation and more needs to be given, then yes.
All right. Anything you want to add before we wrap up? You want to reiterate your week of activities that started Sunday? I'm sorry I couldn't come to the non-parochial church on Sunday. You know, I would have interacted with Popeye and the guys in Duquesne and everything, but, you know.
Just to maybe just indicate that the theme for this year's observance is strengthening intergenerational solidarity for enduring well-being. And the theme basically speaks to the need for more intergenerational dialogue amongst the generations, because we know the older generation, they have the experience and the wisdom, and the younger generation is more innovative, and so we need to combine these two. How do we bridge that gap and combine the experience and the innovation to make society a better place?
That's awesome.
And that is the role of social workers. So we
Parting words?
Well, I would like to say happy International Social Work Day to all my colleagues throughout the Tri-Island states of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and obviously social workers worldwide. Just make a special plea again. If you have the time and you're in the town of St. George, you can definitely feel free to visit us at the Esplanade Mall Courtyard today between the hours of 11 to 3. Interact with us. Let us know what are your concerns. If you have suggestions and so on, we are definitely be willing and open-minded to take them in so that we can all work together, because it's a partnership. We can only do so much with the limited resources that we have to assist. So please engage us so that we can definitely have greater impacts in our community.
Parting words, my dear friend.
I just want to say I hope that this sort of give more insight into our role and responsibility as social workers within Grenada. As she said, we do not have a lot, but we work with the little that we have. We find creative ways to reach persons. So that's all. Thank you for having us.
You see the lawyer in her?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Good. Folks, that was the final conversation for the mornings. I've spoken there with representatives from the Ministry of Social Development. They're celebrating their 1 week of activities. And if you are involved in the social field, today is World Social Workers Day. So go on out, enjoy it. Ask questions, call the ministry to find out what other activities they've got for the rest of the week, and show up and be a part. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for
all right. Folks, that's it for the conversation. We'll be back. Not with conversation, a great interlude of great music is up next.